My name is Ward Schell. I'm a practicing artist and I am located in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. As an artist, I've been practicing art a long time. I've been interested in art my whole life, but I've been practicing professionally for probably 40 years now. I'm a visual artist. I work mainly in acrylic paints, inks, two-dimensional work. But I've done a variety of things over the years that have taken me into bigger realms, from studio to murals and other opportunities that I've had. I even did some editorial cartooning. Well, in my art, I like to work on very intimate close-ups of landscapes. And I've kind of fell into that early, which abstracted everything, obscured things. So when I got to a point where I was trying to find my own direction, I had, when I was in Regina going to university, I had Ted Godwin gave us an exercise to do an urban landscape. I didn't really want to do a painting of my street or down the trees in the city or buildings. There was just too much of that going on. So I went outside my home at the time and looked down, went to the curb, and these leaves were fall. These leaves were in the curbside, and the sun was at that golden hour. It was glorious, great shadows. And I thought, this is what speaks to me. It's not out there, the horizon line. It's not the vanishing point. It's down here. And I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but it could be something that I had always been attracted to. As I tried to think about it as I went through, it made more sense to me. So I wanted to get that intimacy of what was down there. And the beautiful thing about that is that anywhere you look on the ground, it's beauty. And particularly when you're in the actual landscape, not the urban landscape, but the actual landscape in nature. It was like Shangri-La. Everywhere you go and look, it would give you this sense of awe, looking down, seeing what was down there. So it's textural. It's abstracted when you get close, when you see the work, and you get closer, it breaks up into abstract forms, shapes. When you stand back, it optically blends into something that you can understand. It's been a process, but it still gives me goosebumps when I work and stuff like that after all these years. And nature in my work has been upfront and quite personal. And I think it just derives from us as human beings being a part of nature. We are nature. So I think we have this kind of primal attachment or attraction to nature, and I'm no exception. Beauty really exists everywhere. In nature, you don't have to just see the horizon line to see beauty. It's everywhere, up, across, and down. Well, I was diagnosed with MS a long time ago, in 1995, which was a long time ago. I had numbness in my legs and was, a little bit shocked, confused what was going on. So, I went through the procedures and the processes and found out through an MRI that I had MS. So I didn't really know much about it. Everybody hears about MS. So when I had that diagnosis, I had to come to terms with what could have been. As time went on, I had no symptoms for 20 years after that, like 20 years of symptom-free. It's almost like I didn't have it. And then it came. So I was actually working for a show in 2013. I had double vision for about 4 months. And I had to paint covering one eye so I could see what I was painting. Which was very unusual. So it was my first adaptation into MS. As time went on, brief time, not too long after that, I started to lose feeling and sensation and movement in my left hand, and I'm a left-handed artist. I had to make a decision. I couldn't hold onto a brush anymore. I couldn't lift my arm to paint. It was gradual within a few months. wasn't overnight. So I had to think, I mean, I'm not going to give up painting. This is my life. So I just had to figure out some other way to do it. So that inspired me to set up my easel with a rod and pulley system. So I could put a rod on the top of it, just a shower rod. And I put a pulley and ran a cord through that. And then I bought a carpal tunnel brace from Shoppers Drug Mart and stuck that on. It had little holes on the end of it so I could stick my brush in the holes. And it held the brush. You know, I wouldn't drop the brush and I could move it around. So it was like a puppeteer. I'd, you know, move it aside and drop and lift and drop and slide. And I could paint. So I painted like that for a couple more years. But it became a bit too physical for me after a couple of years. And after that, my symptoms got worse. So there was only one way to beat it, and that was to paint with my other hand, my opposite hand. So I knew it was coming, so I took an hour every day to put the brush in my other hand and work around, which was clumsy and awkward and not very fun. But over a year after doing that hour a day and progressively getting longer during the day, it started to work. You stop thinking about the function of painting and you become emotional. The emotion attaches back to painting. So, which was exactly what I had with my left hand. So pure emotional, moving. You don't think about your movements. You think about what you're doing with color and where it's going. So it started to fit into place and it became comfortable. And it you know, became a right-handed artist. Just as nature responds and adapts to its environment, I will certainly respond and adapt to mine. I think that's my path. If MS progresses to another stage in my life, I'll deal with it at that time. But one way or another, I'll be adapting to my environment. And I think my life's been full of that kind of thing. I'm fortunate, very fortunate.
Are you an artist who's interested in appearing on maxTV Local? Let us know at SaskTel.com/local.